Welcome back to Open Line, talking about separation of church and state. Should there be more religion or any religion in schools? There was an incident in Robertson County that brought all of this on. Happy to have with us Felicia Powers. She's with the Sunday Assembly of Nashville, a secular community organizer. And I'm glad you're here. Thank you. Let's go to Jamal, our first caller. Hello, Jamal.
Hi, how you doing tonight?
Fine. What's on your mind?
I was just watching the show, and I was appreciating what the young lady was saying. And I look at it from her perspective and from just a general perspective of it's a public school. School is where we all go to learn and be exposed to new things. It's nothing wrong with what happened in Robertson County. Everyone in the community should be open to come to any public event and be exposed to learning to be in a community. And so America is one big community of everybody who's different. She's able to believe what she wants to believe. I can believe the roots of the baptism that I was raised into. And, you know, that's the beauty about this country. And the thing we need to be impressing upon kids is that there are a lot of options out there that you can be exposed to, but the only place really to be exposed to them is in public school. And the only thing we're exposing them to are the dangers of society. And by not making school a welcome place of learning, which it's supposed to be, and saying we don't want this person to do this or this person to do that. We should say we want you all to bring anything you want to bring onto our campuses and participate as a family, community, and a society that we're hoping to build. So I appreciate your comment as a secular, but also you should appreciate that everybody just wants to be together. Mm-hmm. As those kids are influenced by their peers, maybe they can be influenced by positive roles, performances of their peers, not just the negative ones of what society's putting out there. Thanks for let me have a comment.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. What is kind of your impression of what he's saying there? What are your thoughts?
I understand what he's saying as far as education happens at school. But again, that goes back to what we were talking about previously. If we're going to have a Christian pastor come in to be a character coach, then we also need to welcome the Scientologists, the Wiccans, maybe even the Satanic Temple. They have a really great after-school Satan program. I'm not kidding. It's a character study program. They called it After School Satan just to make it eye-catching, but it's a fantastic program. Can we have them come?
Good grief.
We can't have them come, right?
Well, no, I don't know. Yeah, what you're saying is if we open it up to one, then we open it up to everyone.
We have to be fair. That it has to be the same for everybody. We have to, if we're going to open the doors, we need to open them wide and welcome all of the influences.
And what I think the school is saying,
I choose to not allow all of those influences.
Mm-hmm. And what I think the school is saying is, I guess what they're saying is this happened, again, after hours, and as a result, any of those, maybe not that last one you mentioned, but many others would be welcome. Do you think that's just not correct, or do you question what the school's saying there?
I think it's a lot easier for a high school in Tennessee to say that they would welcome any faith influence in their school than it would be for us to actually get them to accept that kind of influence.
Okay. All right, let's go to Bubba. Hello, Bubba.
Yes.
Go right ahead.
I was thinking that she knew good from evil, but obviously maybe not as much. But the last lady that started this back a long time ago, look what happened to her. If something you want to change, why would you, try to influence somebody else in their beliefs? To take it out, because it means good. And I ain't saying to baptize every kid in class, but come on, that's goodness. Why do you want to intercept evil in on our kids? Look what they're doing right now. Every month there's a school killing. So think twice, lady, what's going to happen if you want to do what you think is right. Thank you, buddy.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right, Bubba, thanks for that call. So what do you think about what he's saying there?
I understand the passion behind a believer believing that the kind of influence that they can offer through Christianity is only positive. I completely understand that perspective. And if these believers were willing to openly accept, like I said, you know, an imam to come and minister to the students similarly, then I don't think we would have much of a, you know, if all faith traditions are being treated equally, then I think we're okay. But the like I said earlier, freedom of religion must also include freedom from religion, or it's not any kind of freedom at all. It's not freedom, it's a limited selection, and that's different. That's not the bill of goods that Americans were sold. We were told that we were to be free, and that's the only thing that we're asking for here.
How difficult has it been? Is it hard for you to take this stance sometimes? If we get a bunch of calls where people are feeling like the last caller, now the first caller, right on board there, it sounded like, but how is this a tough stance sometimes for you to take, or how would you say it is here in the Bible Belt for you to be saying some of the stuff you're saying?
Honestly, I think it's probably more difficult for some of my neighbors to hear than it is for me to say. Obviously, I'm not from here. So I wasn't really raised in this environment where the first question you're asked is where you go to church. You know, that's very, very much a Southern thing, and the influence of church culture is really, really thick here in Nashville. But it doesn't make me feel uncomfortable to hear that kind of feedback. I think that at our core, humans are essentially good. And at our core, we all want the same things. We want security for our children. We want good schools. We want safe roads, we want security, we want financial success, and all of the other little things that divide us. When you look at it from a high up view, they're really so immaterial. You know, I don't know if you're a parent, if you have children who went to school, I'm sure that your goal then was for those children to have a solid education to prepare them for life. And I don't think our school needs any kind of religion in order to give that kind of education. Because as far as a moral education and a character education, that needs to start in the home. That's the responsibility of the parents, and that comes from the lifestyle that we're modeling in front of our children and how they're seeing us behave. And that kind of influence will bear so much more on our children's lives than any baptism at a high school, honestly.
Okay, all right, let's go to Martin now. Hello, Martin? Martin, are you there? Martin?
Oh, no, Martin.
All right, I'm going to put you on hold. Maybe we'll come back to you. Let's try Thomas. Hello, Thomas. Turn down your TV, Thomas. Are you there, Thomas?
Hello, I'd like to ask your guest.
Yes, sir.
You never hear of an atheist on the battlefield. Can she explain that?
Never hear of an atheist on the battlefield. What about that? Do you know?
Perhaps he's talking about the no atheists in foxholes, you know, that everybody will pray to God, I guess, if they're in military service. That's not true. There are several actually groups within the military that are social groups. They're not authorized by the military. I know that there's an active group out of Fort Campbell called Military Atheist Secular Humanists. And so, yeah, there are non-believers in the military service, non-believer law enforcement officers. You know, we're everywhere. The statistics are that people who identify as nuns, who don't identify as Christian or Catholic or anything else, we're 1 in 4 in the population. We're 25% of the population, and only growing. Now, to some believers, I'm sure that they see that as a negative thing. But honestly, if you're getting more moral humans like me out there in the world that are good, honest, loving people, good neighbors, law-abiding citizens, people who pay their taxes and want to give to their community, but we also just don't believe in God, isn't that okay? It's really okay. I think it should be okay.
All right, very good. All right, we're going to take a break. And if you want to call in, there's the number, 615-737-PLUS, 615-737-7587. Take a break. Be back right after this.
Great.